You are in suspense as the direct result of being in the hands of a master craftsman who's manipulating the image in a way to lead you where he wants you to go. And I think that's kind of a comfortable, scary feeling. Whereas in some of the films we're talking about, you know, when you look at a Texas Chainsaw or Last House on the Left or something, and you're watching the movie, the people making the movie are untrustworthy. You're going, well, wait a minute. You know, it's like, oh, we're not supposed to, what the hell? You're watching it, and you're not in the hands of a master. You're in the hands of a maniac.
Slasher films often take place within a suburban or comfortable setting, to completely contrast the gruesome, murderous themes explored within the film, whilst maintaining the genre's countercultural origins through the stereotypical killer's torment of the consumerist paradise that the horror takes place in. Though the suburban environment became one of the many recurring conventions within slasher filmmaking, some of the more groundbreaking and genre-defining pieces take place outside the idyllic backdrop. These films tend to use the same formulaic combination of characters, but throws them into unfamiliar locations and much more vulnerable positions.
Leatherface came from the family doctor, who told me when I was 10 or 11 years old that when he was in pre-med school, he skinned a cadaver's face and dried it out and wore it for a masked Halloween party. So, okay, that's cool.
I mean, I really have such a vivid memory of where we see Leatherface for the first time. We watch the whole thing, and then he slams the door. Thank God this is over. We don't have to watch anymore. But at the same time, this moment also of realizing, you know, I almost want to go beyond that door. And, you know, who is this person in a mask that's, you know, so threatening and so imposing and yet so fascinating? Like, where does he come from? What is his story? What is he doing here? Are we going to see him again?
The horror genre has always preyed upon the human psyche's darker tendencies, but as audience tolerance to gore and fear grew, directors sprung upon the opportunity to create more extreme, yet raw reinventions of the way in which horror films were supposed to make you feel.
I mean, intended for it to wheedle its way in, into the unconscious mind, where the nightmares are. If you get all our little weird things excited, all the stuff that in the darkness, the stuff in the shadows, and in particular, the stuff that we don't open the door on.
This new breed of almost domestic monstrosities sparked inspiration within the minds of established horror directors, most notably Wes Craven's revisiting and complete deconstruction of slasher conventions in Scream.
What's your favorite scary movie?
I don't know.
You have to have a favorite. What comes to mind?
Halloween. You know, the one with the guy in the white mask who walks around and stalks babysitters? What's yours?
Guess.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Is that the one where the guy had knives for fingers?
Yeah, Freddy Krueger.
Freddy, that's right. I like that movie. It was scary.
Wow, well, the first one was, but the rest sucked.
Who's there? Who's there? I'm calling the police.
You should never say who's there. Don't you watch scary movies? It's a death wish. You might as well just come out here to investigate a strange noise or something.
In my opinion, Tobe Hooper's revolutionary masterpiece, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, is the finest example of slasher filmmaking to date. There is so much subtext relating to Western society's regressive effect on so many facets of human nature. The unrelenting, maddening heat the film was shot during is visualized through many different scenes, though in particular the dinner scene is singled out as the most troublingly familiar. The extremely dysfunctional family is sat around the table as the final girl is used as a vessel of our own interpretation of the family's torturous dinner routine. The scene in itself is used to mirror the often defective nuclear family setting that can be the origin of so many real horrors within modern society. There's a squalid, almost found footage style milieu achieved throughout the film, another way in which Texas Chainsaw influenced the next generation of slasher and horror filmmaking.